very good morning. Thank you so much for staying with us. You are still watching the Morning Breeze, our segment of the breakfast meeting. My name is Doreen Komhaj, and yes, it's the 3rd day of September. We're so young into the month, and no wonder today we are going to talk about lifestyle, of course, in regards to health. So we'll be speaking to Paradise Fitness City Gym. That's one at Acacia Mall. And of course, we'll be looking at, they've actually gone beyond just the normal exercising, the normal gym exercise, to now speaking of what diseases we should actually be worried about, and of course, and know what we need to avoid, know how we need to live, know what lifestyles we need to drop in order for us to avoid non-communicable diseases. But of course, we'll be finding out what those are, and of course, prevention is better than cure, so we'll be looking at how exactly we can prevent some of these diseases, and what Paradise has got to do with the non-communicable diseases. Now, in studio with me, I have Mr. David Omollo, the head of marketing, Paradise Fitness City. I have Mr. Francis Nsanga, the acting head, the strategic information and innovations, rather. That's a UHMG. Now, when we talk about UHMG, of course, it's the home of the good life, and definitely now you know why we have him in the studios. And I also have a lady with me, a clinical psychologist. That's a Prosi Solome. Good morning, lady and gentlemen. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you in our studios.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let me start with the home of the good life, UHMG.
Yes.
We are speaking the good life, and of course we are speaking non-communicable diseases. For starters, what are they and why now?
Thank you so much, Doreen. The Good Life Fund, for starters, was set up 2 years ago to address non-communicable diseases.
Okay.
And we've heard about non-communicable diseases, including the cancer, the diabetes, the cardiovascular diseases, among others. And so the Good Life Fund is set up to address these diseases, and we know that they are on the rise. And what we believe in at the home of the Good Life is that prevention is better than cure.
Yeah, true.
And treatment of NCDs is quite expensive and complex. And so we want to prevent it at the onset.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so you did mention cancer. Could you give us a list of the common ones in Uganda, for starters?
Yeah,
the ones that we are grappling with.
The common ones that we are grappling with, like the breast cancer, the cervical cancers, the prostate cancers. You've heard of deaths. I know in the last 1 month you must have heard of a death related to prostate.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the types that we are really struggling with in Uganda, and we know that we can do away with those diseases if we just do the right things.
All right.
Yes.
So at what point did UHMG realize that, hey, it's about time we actually took the information out there? Let me take this to the clinical psychologist. At what point did you realize that we could be losing the battle? We need to actually get the information out there. We need to speak to the people and, perhaps teach them, educate them, make them learn and learn where need arises.
Yeah, first I want to educate people about what non-communicable diseases are. These diseases are not transferred from one person to another. They are non-infectious. That means if you have it, Doreen, I'm not going to get it. Okay, but I'm going to get it through my own lifestyle. Okay, that is through a bad dieting, not exercising. That's why we call in the fitness, the fitness club.
Okay.
Yeah. So UHMG comes in at after realizing deaths at 35%. This is World Health Organization, and this is when we come into to create awareness, okay, through a number of activities, as we shall be telling you ahead. Yeah.
All right. So when you talk about lifestyle, it actually means these are, diseases we can avoid.
Yes, we can avoid them.
So at what point, can we avoid the diseases?
Yeah, one of the ways we can avoid these diseases, one is to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Now, eating healthy, if I had an hour, I would explain. But since
It's what I was going to refer to. Because I was going to be like, okay, now eating healthy it's quite ambiguous.
It's quite big. And
Yes. So
since we have little
break it
time,
down for us.
Breaking it down
Yeah.
is, let's maximize lots of fruits and vegetables. That's what I can say in a very short while.
Yeah.
Eating healthy.
Eating the things we don't wish to eat.
The balanced diet.
Yes. But also
not veg and fruits.
Yes.
Yeah. Secondly is avoiding substance use and abuse. Substance is a very big word. It involves all drugs, alcohol, and the sugars and the oils and everything that goes with that. And so if we can avoid the use of substances and abusing them, then we would be sure that we are on the road to prevention. The other third very important thing is to actually be active. Exercise regularly so that your body is active and can at least have that immunity to fight back the cancerous cells, for example. And then the other thing is people should know that treating NCDs is quite expensive and very complex. And the best thing to do is to prevent them. Those three, eating well, exercising regularly, and avoiding the use of substances will go a long way in preventing NCDs.
All right, actually, before I get to David, I would love to get back to the issue of substances, because you know, when you say avoiding substances, you sound polite. You sound polite, but when we get down to breaking down what the substances, it's not as polite as he makes it, appear. And it's not as realistic in terms of how practical it can be. And my question would be to you, is there an option? Because when we talk about substance use, we're talking about what? Alcohol, we're talking about drugs. He mentioned sugars. Not so many will be able to stay away. What's the option?
Remember that addictions come from use. I use, I get used, I abuse. Before I know, I'm getting addicted. So, as far as you can minimize the use to exactly what your body requires is healthy. But if you start abusing, I can't do away without using heroin. I can't do away without using alcohol. I can't do away, I can't sleep, I can't think without using marijuana. I can't do away without smoking. You're going into abusing, and before you know, you're getting addicted. Before you know, you're calling yourself to non-communicable diseases.
So what is the magnitude of this problem in the country?
Currently, we have up to 35 deaths. Up to 35 deaths in Uganda.
Per year?
Yes. It is NCDs that are responsible for that, according to World Health Organization. And that's a big number. That's a very big number. If you know how many things kill people, and you take 35% to be only NCDs, that is a worrying number.
That's what initially said, being lifestyle problems, like you said, we used to call them the luxurious kinds of diseases way back in school. At what point did we get to this stage in the country?
I think we have relaxed a lot. It's no longer Ndwadezabagaga, because even when you don't have that so much money, if you're eating sugars, you're taking soda all over, you're doing, you're smoking, and you're not active, that's good enough, like, to say what she says, to call yourself to NCDs.
All right. Okay. All right, so David, I know Paradise. I go to Paradise, and when I saw you coming in, I was like, okay, what has Paradise got to do with NCDs? Could you please tell the viewers how Paradise, comes in on this particular situation?
All right, thank you so much, Doreen. If you do recall, so well, a couple of months I was here in this chair, right here, and I told you that Paradise Fitness City had embarked on a campaign to make Kampala and Ugandans at large healthier. So when I said that, people listened, of course. On 8th July 2018, to be more precise, His Excellency the President of this country launched the National Exercise Day. He joined the campaign that we are talking about, and different fitness centers were given the platform to talk to people about exercising, staying fit, and being healthy. So Paradise Fitness City didn't wait for 8th July 2019. We started then. Okay. And that's what unhinges us from the others. That's what makes us stand aloof. We took the fight out there. Paradise went out. So we partnered with UHMG and a couple of partners that Francis will be telling you about, to go to the people and talk to them, let the people know that fitness is not just fitness. Fitness is a lifestyle that we all have to embrace. Those days it was rare to hear that someone has diabetes. It was unheard of. It was rare that someone maybe is suffering from cancer, but now it's so common. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, yeah.
But these are things that we can avoid. Okay, so we as a fitness center, we believe that these diseases can be prevented, and that's why we've backed it up by being emphatic on exercising, eating healthy as well, and that's why we are here.
Is this information you pass out to your clients that come to the gym? Because, you know, I'll be honest with you, we don't have so many people going to the gym, you know, because they are trying to stay away or to fight NCDs. You know, in most cases, we'll go to the gym because, you know, we've gained a bit of weight. When they tell me I've lost a little too much, I'll be like, okay, I'll take a break from paradise, you know, for a few weeks. We don't have this information, David. So, you know, is this something that you have to grapple with every day at the gym, or is this information that you actually pass on to your trainers to pass on to their clients?
Well, having professional instructors is something that is a must-have, and that's why it shouldn't be only us, Paradise, but all the other fitness centers out there ought to have a BMI room. This is for the body mass index, and it's the work of the instructors to go out there to the clients who come to the gym. Take them to the BMI room. Before anyone does anything, we have to have the record, your medical record. Do you have any diseases? Are you not supposed to carry something? Maybe you've just undergone an operation. Okay, so it's the cardinal work of the instructors to make sure the clients visit the BMI rooms, and not only once. It's not a visit that you pay once, because they will have a workout plan for you. So after a particular time, maybe say 3 weeks, you go back to the BMI room, and then you'll see the fat that you have in your body, and that's when now they'll tell you this is the foods you're supposed to eat that are rich in this, and you're lacking this in your body.
All right.
Okay.
So what are the most common situations that you deal with at Paradise amongst your clients?
Common situations in
terms of, you know, why they come to the gym in the first place.
Well, people come to the gym to exercise, okay, among others, to keep fit and stay healthy. Yes.
All right. Interesting. So let me go back to Prosi.
Yes.
In this case, what activities, you know, besides what we're having right now,
Yeah.
you know, what else have you engaged in to actually take the information out there?
We've started up with sensitizing, health talks. We are trying to educate the mass. We are trying to educate people about non-communicable diseases. What are they? Especially when I know something, I can fight it. But so many people don't know what they are. You know, very many people think probably it's infectious. You've heard of people saying, I can't nurse a cancer patient, I'll get it. So we've tried with one basic activity. Among others, it's a combo of activities, many of them, but one major is to educate, create awareness.
Who are you targeting with this campaign?
We've targeted the whole population.
Okay.
However, we've started with high school institutions, of tertiary institutions, because we believe this is where we can get that target, many of them, so that as we educate them, as we empower them, they can move ahead to empower other people outside.
All right, so Francis, actually, you know, in relation to what I just asked her, at what age should one worry about NCDs? And, you know, lifestyle and everything.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we should be worried about NCDs, even with with babies, especially when you're the mother. You should be knowing what you're feeding your baby, as a matter of fact. Okay, so going forward and having the awareness, I think we are targeting high school students, which is about 14, 15 onwards. And we are doing awareness campaigns in schools. We've been in so many schools and in higher institutions of learning like Chambogo University. And this Saturday we are going to Makerere University. And so we want to create that awareness. It's like Process said, it's a combo of activities. We do the awareness, we do services alongside, we do physical activities with Paradise and other partners, that come to the event.
And I want you to remember, Doreen, that non-communicable diseases is it calls you to mental health illness.
Okay. All right.
As a clinical psychologist, I have to tell the world this.
So it gets deeper.
It gets deeper.
Yeah.
It gets deeper. I eat food, I'm there, I don't exercise. I get all these fats in my body. I get so fat, I lose out, you know. I get depressed. I use substances. They hit my brain. I get psychotic, you know. So as far as we are talking about non-communicable diseases, we have to remember our mental health. Yeah.
All right, what's the common one that you know Ugandans should think about 24/7? You know, when you wake up, as you go to bed, you know, something that you need to worry about in the country. I'll start with a clinical psychologist. What's that NCD that you're really dealing with on a daily?
Depression.
Oh, great.
And
wow.
Cardiovascular disorders, because
What's
all
that?
These are the diseases to do with the heart,
Okay.
you know, and matters of the heart are so hard to treat. There is no specific treatment for them. However, we go alongside to treat the side effects. My head is aching. I'm feeling like this. We shall send you to a physician. But in the long run, there is no specific treatment that if you have this, take this and you're healed. It's not a malaria, like you go and take Coartem and you're done.
And you're done, yeah.
It is, remember, Doreen, these diseases come in at a slow stage pace.
It's a build-up.
Eating you up, eating you up. And by the time you get to know I have cancer, you're going to start seeing it by the side effects, okay? But it's already in you, okay?
Yeah. So at what stage should one test, do a checkup just to be sure?
By the way, as we move around the schools and the institutions, we move with a clinical team to do the screens. So we call upon all people. Okay, more especially if you're a lady and sexually active, we do a cervical cancer test screens. And it's not only that people who are already using should probably abusing substances should only test, okay? But it's a call, it's a wake-up call for each and every one.
So how often can one do the screening?
It should be at least twice a year.
Twice a year, okay. To be sure. And you don't have to wait for signs.
You don't have to wait for signs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Francis, the lifestyle that you talked about, I'm guilty as charged, by the way. There are certain lifestyles that I would profess to, and it gets scary. You're like, okay, what did I do? What have I been living? The eating and everything. You're looking at the veg on your plate and you're wishing it could turn into a burger. But but someone recommended that you eat healthy. So, what's that easy action that the people watching right now can start with as we build towards healthy living and proper lifestyles?
Okay, one of the things that somebody can really do without struggling, there's nothing to...
And I'm asking for myself, by the way.
First thing is ensure that on your diet on a daily, you have at least 75% vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
Is it easy? If it's not, if it's not, you start small and progress.
Yeah, because 75%
is quite high.
It's above average.
Okay, you start small and be, progress. So maybe after 2 years, you get to 50% and you get to 75%. The other thing is, please be active. Don't stay and slay like young people these days do.
Yes. And even when you go to the gym, don't slay. Come in and rest.
So you need to keep active. You need to eat healthy. I'll tell you, you need to eat healthy until I leave this place. Because that's the only way to go about it. And then avoid substance use. I've gone around town and there's a lot of smoking. There is shisha.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Especially amongst young people.
Everywhere you go, you'll find shisha, and I'm like, okay, what's going on in this town? And it's not only in this town; it's all over. Even up
actually,
country.
Kenya has banned it. Well, last time I advocated for the ban. It didn't rub down some people well, but yeah, I still advocate for the ban. I totally do not agree with shisha. I feel like it's something we can do without.
So we can do away with smoking.
Yeah.
We can do away with substance use. Right now we are focused on creating awareness of what substances can do to your body in terms of harm. And so we should be avoiding substances. We should be avoiding alcohols and smoking and eating well and keeping busy, active.
Generally, it's lifestyle.
Yes.
You know, your 24-hour day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
you know, every single second matters.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So, David, can we get your final remarks? Paradise. How do we get in touch? You know, where do we find you? And what do we take with us the moment we are done? You know, exercising from Paradise Fitness City.
Well, still on this campaign, I'd like to say this, that as we go with our partners around the schools, we've been to the universities and now we are going to other institutions. First, I would like to call upon all the other corporate institutions and in the country to at least you know, make sure their staff are engaged in exercising. It's something that institutions should come up with, because Prosi talked about...
Should they be compelled?
They
I think I've seen it in the Ministry of Gender.
Ministry of
Yes.
Health as well.
Exercising
Yes.
is compulsory
Yes.
at the
Yes.
Ministry of Gender. So is it something that we should perhaps, you know...
Yeah, it
absolutely-
is. It is. And you see, the more we've been talking, the more they've been listening. And you see now, Ministry of Health does it, I think, almost every day or Friday. I'm not sure about that. But all institutions should come up with something like that. Either they pay for, they take their staff to work out somewhere, or maybe they call an instructor to do it from there. You know, because
But when people feel like, you know, their rights have been abused, if you do remember Mr. Fajio Mande introduced it, I think in the was it at UNEB?
Yeah.
And you know, it was controversial. It was an issue of why are you making a 70-something year old?
you see, one thing in this country is that we have one of the best laws drawn in black and white, but we don't implement them. This is
agree.
something that is good for your life. Why wouldn't you do it? Something that is going to prevent it, is why don't you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Prosi talked about depression. You see, here, especially in the city, it's a lot of moving up and down. People get depressed, stress. Okay, so if an institution does not have where their staff can, you know, take off the stress, and you know, you have deadlines and all this, so such things need to come up and engage them so that they are more active.
Yeah.
So we started with this. We started with our youth. We went to the schools. Now you could be asking, what do we do there? We are fitness city, but sorry, we are a fitness center. We've encouraged them to engage in activities like we always do taibo, that is aerobics, and then we also do karate, and this karate is helps in self-defense, focus, and determination. In developed countries, children begin at a tender age. The Messis and the Ronaldos of this world began at a tender age. Okay, the Usain Bolts began at a tender age. So once they begin now, then they are preoccupied, you know, and that can even help them prevent from abusing substance and all that.
Keeps them busy.
When you do something, you have an activity you're doing. That's why I've always championed this. You can't tell me 365 days you're busy. Doing what? You have to get time off and exercise.
All right. Exercising has been seen as, you know, or termed as expensive. You know, I'm looking at, you know, going to the gym and all. Not a 14-year-old, a typical 14-year-old Ugandan can afford going to Paradise on a daily.
Yes.
What's the alternative?
Well, I'm going to say two things. One, that's why we have partnered with all these partners of ours, UHMG, Butabika, and Midwives Association. We are moving around institutions, and it's free. We do not charge. This is a free service. For us, as Paradise, we've even stretched as far as Kitgum.
Wow.
We participated in the Irene Memorial Glenson Walk, and we contributed funds towards building up a library. The Rotary Cancer Run, we go and participate. So that is one. Shouldn't mind about the money. If they are organized, they can always contact us. Any institution in Uganda here, we're ready to come.
How did they contact you?
Our phone lines are there, but you can go to our website. They can go to our website. Or you can even follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page. A message will be replied immediately.
What's your Facebook?
Our Facebook is www.paradise. Sorry, Facebook is no. Let me see. The website is www.paradisefitnesscity.com.
Okay.
And then Twitter handle is at Fitness Paradise.
Okay.
Okay. Then the last one, you're talking about if people cannot come to the gym. Well, it may seem like a lot of money, but not until you fall sick. Okay, if you think being fit is expensive, try falling sick.
Okay. All right, you're sounding like Queen Marie. If you can't afford your brain, eat cake. No, I totally agree. Thank you so much. And are there some small exercises we can do from home?
Of course they are.
You know, that the campuses can do from the hostels and, you know, run around and...
Yeah, you can engage in jogging, okay? You can also, you can do sit-ups from home, you can play football, you can play basketball.
Just keep yourself busy.
Keep yourself busy with an activity at least twice or 3 times a week.
Skip ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, David. It's always a pleasure. Proceed your final remarks, please.
I would like to tell everyone that non-communicable diseases are on a rise because of our own lifestyles. And remember, like I said, it's a repercussor to mental illness. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, Francis, your final remarks.
Thank you, Doreen. One of the things I want to end with is to thank our partners. The Good Life Fund has gone around many institutions and we are still going. And we want to thank our partners, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, Stanbic Bank, DFCU Bank, Barclays Bank, Paradise Fitness City, Butabika Hospital, Uganda Private Midwives Association, Robbie's Fitness, and so many others. If I've forgotten someone, it's not because I intended. Gold Star Insurance, yes, Gold Star Insurance. And I wanted to mention that we have a Good Life Fund holiday mentorship program at UHMG. And this is something that can help your nephew, your son, your daughter, your sister. If they are for holiday around Kampala, they can come to us. I will give you a discount.
Where are you found?
We are in Ntinda. Our offices are in Ntinda, plot 21 to 20 to 21, Martyrs Crescent.
You mentioned the discount from what to what?
The rate for the mentorship program is 200,000, and it's a very exciting activity. The schools where we've been, they can tell. It's a very exciting activity. When you come with a message, when you come with your niece, your sister, your brother, your son, we'll give you a discount of 40%.
Is that for me or
for you? And whoever does come, when they are mentioning this program, we shall give the same discount.
Oh yes, thank you so much. And of course, you said your offices are at Ntinda.
Ntinda, yes.
Okay, interesting. Yes, David.
Sorry, I forgot this. We do have Paradise Fitness City is also hosting a CrossFit challenge, the first of its kind, the biggest ever. On the 15th September, please mark your dates. There's going to be lots of challenges like bomber, spin, corner. So
everything I failed to do in the gym.
Yeah. So it's only 50,000. So please, 15th September, don't forget.
Where is that going to be?
It's going to be on the rooftop. It's an outdoor.
Oh,
the first of its kind.
Wow.
Okay, an outdoor CrossFit challenge.
50,000.
50,000.
That's on the 15th of September.
Yes, and every participant will walk away with the prize.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Interesting, including myself.
Including you if you can.
Because I failed with all the activities you just mentioned, I think I would, give it a shot. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much, lady. It's been a pleasure. And of course, to the viewers, it's NCDs. Like I think it's Percy that said, one, they're very expensive, and yet they can't be avoided. And David also said that if you don't work out, try falling sick. Try catching the NCDs. Then there you will know that actually spending a 30K or something at Paradise is not as expensive as you might assume. So let's try to check our lifestyles. Let's eat healthy. Like Francis said, do the veg much as you don't want it. Close your eyes and just eat. At the end of the day, you will be able to avoid all these diseases that we could actually avoid. 35% of deaths, registered per year in the country is high. And it's upon you, it's upon me, it's upon the gentleman and the lady to actually fight this and see that the numbers actually go down. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Doreen Comhanch. After the break, I will be returning with URSP. So I'll be finding out what it takes to actually register your business, register your marriage, and of course several others, patents, trademarks, industrial designs and copyrights, etc. just after the break. Good morning.